The Big Dane podcast is produced by Big Dane Media, empowering women-led brands through marketing strategy. Learn more at bigdanemedia.com. Welcome to the Big Dane podcast. I'm your host, Dana Warnock, connecting through the stories women share. Each story might surprise you, make you think, or just make you say, wow. Each story is different, but each one has a connection we can all relate to. Let's get into it. Today, I'm joined by Sabrina Sigler. She is the owner of Sabrina Ann in Ardmore, PA and Westchester, PA. And she turned her interest in discount wedding gowns into a real business. Welcome, Sabrina.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming on.
Thanks for having me.
Of course. I'm so excited to hear how it all came together. So let's start at the beginning. Before this became a business for you, what first sparked your interest in discount wedding gowns? Like, how did that come to mind for you?
It came because I was shopping for my own wedding dress in New York City at a shop that was kind of like Filene's Basement. For anyone who knows what that was, you know, you go behind a screen and you try something on and it's kind of chaotic.
Okay.
I was working with a woman who wanted to kind of get a deal on a wedding gown, and she said, I don't really feel like going to New York to do that. And so I started doing some research in Philadelphia, and I found no one doing it in Philadelphia, and I also felt like I need a little bit more of a refined experience in Philadelphia. I didn't feel like lining up outside the door with no one being able to answer your questions or anything was the way to handle it in Philadelphia. So that's kind of what started it. Okay.
Now, who were you with? If you could tell me a little bit more about that day. You're shopping for your wedding, and now all of a sudden, whoa, I have this idea.
So when I was shopping for my wedding, the idea was not there at all. It was when this woman years later, well, not that, maybe let's say 5 years later or so, was getting married. And that's when I had the ding, ding, ding went on. Yeah. I said, wow, okay. I was in my corporate job that was ending. Okay. So we were all kind of together looking for something else to do or applying for jobs and things like that.
Sure.
And I came up with this and I said, So I started a business plan. And I think that my finance and economic background kicked in. Okay. The business plan, how much money we're going to make, how much money we're not going to make for a long time. Kicked in. Yeah. And that's how it all got started.
Okay. And so tell me about that timeline. So you said it was, a few years later. So you're already married. Yes. And so you're in your...
I was late 30s. Okay. I started everything late. I want to say that I was 38 or 39 years old when this conversation started.
That's great.
Yeah.
So. And was there any encouragement you had, from family or friends that, hey, I have this idea?
So not real. I'm a very independent soul.
Okay.
And I was kind of thinking... I love the corporate job and the corporate money, but I didn't like the corporate hours. And it's when I had a 1-year-old who's now 23 years old. Okay. And dropping her off at 8 a.m. and picking her up at 6 p.m. was like, I feel like there's got to be a better way. So absolutely. 22 years ago, I was thinking about work-life balance before it was a thing.
I love it. Hey.
But I also was, almost 40 at the time. So anyway, so that's kind of the timing and how that came into play.
And
so not to interrupt you, but
sure.
So once I independently came up with the idea, then I had support all over the place.
Okay.
Everyone was thrilled and thinks, okay, you're going to do a great job.
Yeah.
So.
And was there any particular person that stood out for you for that?
Well, at the time, my husband, I would say, and my mother, and maybe a couple other people, friends. Yeah. And that was kind of about it. It was a pretty small, because I started my shop with just me. Mm-hmm. Just me.
Yeah. Hey, that's where it all begins, right?
Right.
It starts with one.
There was no one else in the building. I did have some family members that helped me create the space and everything once I landed on a location.
Yeah. And so you mentioned, a business plan. So it seems like you already had so much confidence in that, hey, this can become a business. I am doing this.
I did. Apparently I did, but I didn't know that.
Okay.
But I did. And like I said, I think it's where my finance and economics unconsciously came in.
Yeah.
Because I started doing the numbers and what I had to do. And I think a lot of small business people don't necessarily do that. Because I was doing it not to present to a bank to get a line of credit or anything. But at the time, we had the money to just start. Plus, the business itself wasn't a real big, expensive business to start because it's consignment. So it wasn't like I had to invest in a ton of inventory.
Sure.
So I did start a little smaller, but
yeah.
But I didn't take a paycheck for a while, which is what my business plan told me.
Yeah. The reality.
The reality. But fortunately, my husband at the time, we were able to make that work for a while until I was uncomfortable for me. I like to make money.
Yeah.
So it happened. It just took a couple of years.
Hey, that's great.
Yeah.
And tell me more about those early days. So what was that like for you? So you got the business plan. What other things were you doing to help prepare to make it into a business?
So I learned a lot about inventory and how to curate it. I made a bunch of mistakes early on, but then ultimately didn't, and thought that inventory was going to be my biggest problem. Like, where am I going to get it from? But it kind of snowballs, just kind of having a sign on the window. Because of my corporate background, also I was a director of marketing for FAO Schwartz, Zany Brainy, and The Right Start. So I have a lot of marketing understanding, although I did leave the business when social media started. So we weren't doing any of that then.
Sure.
But I knew that, with paper and magazines and all that kind of stuff, you can get the word out.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what I did. I knew that I had to do that to get people to know that I was there.
Yeah.
And I also did a lot of public relations and PR to do that as well. Did press releases and stuff, and got in some local newspapers and all that kind of stuff, which is what you did then.
Yeah, traditional
media.
Yeah.
You got it. I'm still partially a believer, for sure.
Hey,
I don't think social media is everything.
I hear
piece
that.
Of the pie.
Yeah, it is a piece. No, it's definitely true. So you mentioned, like putting a sign, sound like maybe in a window. So tell me about the space. How did you find the space for it?
I'm a high-end sample, buy off the rack wedding gowns and things, which has evolved also into evening wear and prom. So the space I knew I needed to be in a little bit more. I quickly learned that I need to be in a little bit more of an affluent area. That's how I landed in Ardmore, because wealthier people have nicer stuff. Okay, and that was very helpful in getting inventory, because they tend to we're giving me good stuff. So
sure.
Not giving me, but consigning good stuff. So
yeah.
I knew I didn't need, so I'm a very less is more person. And I think the biggest mistake in retail is buying too much, buying too many things, and getting too big of a space.
Yeah.
You can do a lot in a very small space if you do it right. And I think that I've been able to do that for 22 years. I've only have like 900 square feet in each of my locations.
Yeah.
And I would say I could easily be led to believe I need 2,000 square feet or 3,000. That's just more employees, more cleaning, more rent, more expenses, more everything.
More everything, yeah.
More everything. And I've proven that I could still do 20 or 30 or 40% more business in the current locations I have if you just organize appointments later. I could be open more days, but I choose not to, because once again I kind of just wanted to stay with a 5-day week.
I hear that.
So I picked my space that was like manageable. Started out with like just 2 dressing rooms, and kind of gutted it because it was gross, and just made it all white, because in the wedding business you don't need a lot of decor, because the gowns themselves are decoration.
Yeah.
So that was the bonus too. I don't need to do all this decorating.
Yeah, that's great. No, I think that's very strategic in the sense of really honing in on a limited inventory. It almost reminds me of when you go to a really nice restaurant and you know that it's good quality, or like you're going to eat good quality. And their menu, it's 1 page. It's not 5 pages.
Correct.
So it's like, well, what's, I want to eat good food. I don't want to pick and choose and then, not know if what I'm going to be eating isn't that good, So, so I love that. And I have been in for my wedding gown. Now it's 2 years ago, which is too old, but which I come to find out. But yeah, that space, like it feels cozy and it's unique, it's intimate.
It feels like a boutique. Yeah. You don't feel like, I know the biggest hurdle I've had even now is when you see consignment or buy off the rack, they think we're a thrift store or something, and it's
not that at all. Yeah, it's totally
correct. It's just
360 of that.
Exactly, and you're like you're shopping in a regular boutique. You need an appointment. You're working with a consultant. You're working with people that know what they're doing. So and so we have a really good reputation, and it's hard to do in this business for a really long time. So
and I had a really nice experience, I will say. So
who did you work with?
I think it was the manager.
Oh, Jenna Rose?
Jenna Rose. Yes. I knew it started with a J. Yeah, okay. Yeah. Oh, she was lovely.
It's a lot of vowels in her name. No?
Yeah.
She's awesome. She's been with me 10 years.
Wow. Yeah. So we talked about the space. So tell me more like the later years when, more of the reality setting in with the entrepreneurship and, what's something that it takes with running your business that people may not really see from the outside, or they don't know what goes into it?
Well, I mean, after the first year in business, I would say snowballed and started getting really busy. And then it's a matter of, I'm a control freak, but I'm not a micromanager.
Okay.
So I allow others to work with me and for me and have their own independence on how to do things. And I mean, we have a kind of a formula, but I'm not going to hover over people. So
sure.
I would say that, the biggest challenge was staffing versus how busy I was and things like that. I mean, that's kind of always in a small business, staffing is a thing. But I was pretty committed to not working a 60 or 80 hour week, which I know a lot of small business people do.
Yeah.
My very first boss always told me, hire people better than you. And so I've kind of held on to that mantra.
Yeah.
Hire people that are really good. Why not? And then they can be there when I'm not. And they're really good. and I'm not even as good as them. And they want to be there.
Funny how that works out.
Right. So, I mean, I've been told often I'm different than a lot of small business owners because I've built my model around being able to work when I want to work and not work when I don't want to work. No, I'm not specifically attached to the product. I'm not making the wedding gowns. I'm not designing them, but I am a retailer. But I believe that can be done if you do it properly. So.
Okay. And one of the things you mentioned, you're talking about how it snowballed. So, and you got really busy. Was that a surprise to you in that moment?
I would say it was a surprise how quickly it came. Because it was just literally after a year, and then I kind of hired somebody, and then I hired somebody else, and it just got busy quickly. Yeah, I think in our business, word of mouth. So it was awesome. So the biggest thing is just to be nice to everyone and give a great customer. Yeah, and it was like, wow, wait, what? Walking in the door. And buying stuff.
know who we are. Yeah. And that's such a great feeling.
It is.
Oh my goodness. What has been maybe more of a difficult piece of the entrepreneurship, would you say?
Yeah, the biggest thing I thought was going to be a challenge was inventory.
Okay.
Did I have inventory challenges a little bit here and there?
Yeah.
I could kind of say that's what I had, because you carry certain sizes and you want to carry certain styles. And you can't always get that. So early on, I was probably more challenged with inventory. But once I locked on to some very good sources, inventory has never been a problem. I mean, there's enough inventory in this country to fill many of my stores.
What's the secret?
Of lots of inventory? What's the secret? So the secret is, without giving away everything I do, but I mean, that's one of the main parts of what I do, and now my manager does more and more of, is grassrooting, knocking on the doors of shops all over the country. And now with the internet, there's a lot of stuff online that they can dig and find Facebook groups and things like that you can just find ways to get inventory. So, but you have to look, find, and then you have to pick the right stuff, because there's, like I said, I made a lot of mistakes in the beginning. Don't make those mistakes so much anymore. I mean, you're always going to make some mistakes, because it's retail. You're always going to buy 10 things, and 4 of them aren't ever going to sell, but you hope to sell at least 6 of them.
Right.
So we're pretty good, though, doing it as long as I've done it now. I mean, because we know kind of our demographics in Ardmore, we know our demographics in Westchester, and we kind of collaborate, as y'all younger generations would say. We collab. We collab, and figure out what we need in each store. But that is, I would say, the biggest challenge is trying to find the right stuff, because sometimes we just can't get it soon enough. I call us like the Nordstrom rack of wedding gowns. Okay, we're always a little behind, kind of ish, but if we work hard enough, I can get pretty darn close to where we are. So
that works.
Yeah.
Do you have any vendors that maybe, I don't know, did they ever disappoint you or anything like that? Were they?
Not really. I don't deal with that many vendors because of being a consignment and off the rack. We do most of our accessories with vendors. The biggest disappointment usually is a good one closing.
Fair.
Other than that, I mean, we've had 2 things. I've been doing it a long time, so we've had a couple good ones close, which is always a bummer. And post-COVID, things have gotten pricier. And I try my best not to raise the prices, but we are having to. You can't not.
You can't, You can't sit still. It has to.
Payroll's gone up, inventory costs have gone.
Life keeps going on.
It does. It does. I mean.
Oh my gosh. All right. And what about on some more positive notes here, with something that maybe you're proud of, or maybe you had one of those moments where, that reality is setting in and you're thinking, wow, this really became something?
I think it took me a while.
Yeah.
But a number of years ago, I was at a party and I was speaking to a gentleman about what I did. I own a bridal shop. Like, who cares, right? Like, it's like such a fluffy thing. And he goes, what do you mean? You're an entrepreneur. And I said, oh. And I think that was the first time I thought of myself as, when I started realizing that I've used, as my mother would say to me, why do you know so much about that? I said, well, I did major in these things. Finance, economics, and entrepreneur, like I did. That's how when she asked me some questions. And so I didn't realize, but I think that all rose to the top. And I believe that my financial acumen and my business acumen is what's kept me going for a long time. It's very easy to get into a fluffy business like this and say, I love pretty things, and I just want to buy pretty things and sell pretty things. But if you don't have the right vision, the right plan, the right location, the right price points, it just doesn't work. And in the right niche, especially today, I do have the benefit a little bit of being around for so long at this point. But still, you need that right niche to really succeed, because retail is so fragmented now. There's so many choices.
There's too many.
Too many choices, right? So,
and very different. I mean, I love how, you go into the store, because you don't, you don't have anything online, right?
We don't do anything online. I have a fabulous website. It shows you everything that's in the store, but you come in.
Yeah. Which is a great experience, because I feel like
I'm in an unusual business. Didn't realize it when I started, but I certainly realize it now, that bridal is definitely different than most all retail. We're word of mouth like crazy, and I think with all of this online and social media and everything that's going on today, you still want to try on that wedding gown.
Absolutely. 100%.
There's still a chunk of girls that are okay with this going online and finding something quick and easy, but they still want the experience. They want the entourage. They want mom and grandma. It's just, and certainly not while I'm around. It's not going to go out of style, and I
Right.
don't see it going out of style anytime soon.
I would agree.
So,
I mean, and
you
for
never know,
those
but-
for those women that do want to buy something online, well, that's not your audience then.
Correct.
You know,
You
that's
got it.
that's for a different,
You got it.
you know.
When they come in,
audience.
they try things on. I know that they're just trying to go online somewhere
Yeah.
and find it cheaper or whatever. That's not really my.
Yeah.
Fortunately, we don't get a lot of that too much. I mean, you can never avoid
Right.
some of it occasionally, but we also. I mean, I've been doing it long enough to watch a lot of regular shops struggle a little bit with the online environment because in the bridal industry, you pay your associates more than your average mall person. They're usually more experienced, and it's a long sale. It's a luxury item. You're with your client for an hour or two, and beyond. And so they come in and kind of waste your time and go into salons, and what they're doing is wasting your time so they can go out somewhere and find it cheaper online. It's kind of a bummer.
Yeah.
I don't suffer from that so much because we're already a discount. So
Right.
try and find it cheaper. You might, but it might be your size. Whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, let's be real. Let's just kind of
Right.
end here. But so I've had a lot of things that have gone in my favor by accident, honestly. Kind
It's
of.
so interesting. Yeah.
Yeah. You know, like I got lucky in that. You know, I didn't know how insulated the bridal industry. I mean, I knew it's a niche, but I didn't realize
How niche it
how
is.
niche it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, and even, you know, in good times people are still getting married, in bad times people are still getting married. In good times
Right.
people are getting married and spending more money, so then they just spend more money with me.
Right.
In bad times they're trying to save money, so more people come to me to save money. So it just
Win-win.
yeah. So I mean, knock on wood.
Knock on-
You know, I think
yeah.
even if someone opened a shop across the street from me
Yeah.
that did what I do, at this point I think we're established enough that
Yeah.
we're good. So, which is
That's
lucky.
great. Yeah. What about looking ahead? You know, whether it be this year, if you have any new things going on at the shop or even beyond that.
Yeah, so I would say that you've caught me at the end of my career. So I am not looking at too much expansion or working harder.
Yeah.
If it were 20 years ago, I think that I would definitely consider opening another location. Knowing what I know now and knowing
Sure.
how to do it, that's where the expansion is really. I mean, we've really curated the business itself. Every once in a while we come up with a new idea or we catch an idea from somebody else and copy it.
Yeah.
But we haven't had anything like real earth shattering. You know, you're talking to me in a very kind of I'm very mature right now in my
Sure.
shops, you know. So stable, good years and bad years, but the bad years aren't really bad. Good years aren't fabulous, but they're good. So
Okay.
you know,
That's
so
fair.
you know, yeah. I mean, if you caught me 20 years ago, I'd have probably
Yeah.
a different answer for you.
Yeah.
Because I have 2 stores now. That was a big deal 10 years ago.
Right.
You know, that was an
Well,
expansion point, and could be again. But full disclosure,
yeah.
I don't want to work that hard.
Yeah.
Right now.
I love that you said
got-
that. I mean, who?
It's okay, you know?
It's okay.
yeah.
Yeah. But a different person, you know,
Yeah.
might be like, yeah, let me open another.
Absolutely.
And be like, oof.
Yeah,
Good luck
it's
to
okay,
you.
and if
And it's okay. Yeah.
Exactly. So,
Well,
We'll see
power
what
to
happens.
you. Yeah.
you know, because I am towards the end, so we'll see how my exit goes, or and
Yeah.
it's not happening tomorrow by any means.
Yeah.
I like to work still.
Okay.
They haven't kicked me out yet.
Yeah.
The girls.
And one final question for you. What's one thing you hope that every listener would take away from your story today?
Oh, these are so philosophical questions.
Getting deep.
I would say when I first started the business, I did a lot of research.
Yeah.
And that's how I came up with the business plan. And also I did a lot of research just about owning a small business. And another line that I took away 22 years ago was someone who said, when you like what you do, it's not work. And that's the biggest thing I take away from.
Yeah.
Because what I do, I don't feel like I'm going to work every
Really?
day. We just love going there.
Okay.
Yeah. And it's easy.
You know,
And
I hear that, but I'm like, is that
is it right?
true?
And exactly.
Yeah.
And I thought, is this really possible? Right. How could it be? And it has been for me. I mean, I do not, because I am towards the end of my career
Yeah.
at some level, people say, when are you retiring? I'm like, what am I retiring from? I
Yeah.
like it. I have great people.
Right.
I have a great business going on. I don't really have to retire.
Mm-hmm.
So, but that's the biggest thing is that, if you're getting into a small business to work 60 hours a week or 80 hours a week and you don't like what you're doing,
Yeah.
that's my biggest, but I think, most entrepreneurs usually like what they do.
Yeah.
The
I would
biggest takeaway
hope. Yeah.
is find a way to do it and get a little work-life balance.
Okay.
I hate to use that word because it's not my favorite because I feel like all the 22-year-olds like mine want it. And I said, well, you haven't worked enough and you haven't lived long enough. I'm not sure what you're balancing. But
That is very fair.
okay.
Very valid point.
Right. So,
Yeah.
I just feel like I do know a lot of small business people that tend to, it becomes their life and their, which I get it. It's our purpose. It's our life. We work hard at it because we are doing it for ourselves.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of other things we can do for ourselves too if you can find a way to do that.
Agree.
So,
Yeah. Well, that's great. I love that. That piece of advice.
Yeah. My words of wisdom.
Words of wisdom from Sabrina. Great. Well, thank you so much for coming on. I really enjoyed the discussion.
Thanks for having me.
And
I hope I answered all your questions. Okay.
Yeah, it was great. All right. Bye.
Bye.
Thanks so much for listening, friends. Until next time, keep finding connection in the stories women share.